Today we're looking at hidden gems on Football Manager 2024. Now, what better way to start the year than to look at 10 players that I hope you haven't seen before, but all have variable potential, which should make them good players in the future. I've also scouted them as on a brand new save with Manchester City to give you an idea of how they fit in with a top-tier elite Premier League side. So, without any further ado, these are our 10 hidden gems for Football Manager 2024. Now, we're going to start out with Matheus Goncalves at Flamingo. He's a 17-year-old Brazilian, obviously. He's at Flamingo. He's a right winger by trade, and he's got some pretty good-looking attributes so far. Looking at his physicals, he's got some great agility, acceleration, pace. His speed is right up there. Got some great flair at 16 as well, dribbling of 15. If we flick across to his scouting report, you can see that he's already a championship standard player and can improve a lot. So that is a 4 to 5 star potential for Manchester City. Now, you can get him for about 12 to 15 million at the beginning of the game. I've started a Your World save, so this is just for a bit of context. His wage demands aren't too bad at all, and he's got some great looking pros and attributes for this right winger. Matheus Goncalves is going to be a really good player on this game. Obviously, he's got that variable potential, so you might not get a good role like I have got here, but he's going to have some really good potential. He's already at championship standard. He's going to make an impact if you are a Premier League side. Maybe not an elite Premier League side, but if you are, then there's other lists with Wonder Kids that you can look at. Right, next up, we are going to stay at Flamengo in the reserve side. We're looking at Loran, who is, again, a right winger by trade. He's not quite as good, but he's got 18 natural fitness, which stands out and jumps out to me immediately. His current ability is a little bit lower than Goncalves, but his potential is right up there as well. He's left-footed and he's got some decent pace as well. 14 pace, 14 acceleration, so not quite the same, but very, very similar. First touch of 13, flair of 11, so that's probably not as important for him. But he's got some good passing, good technique, good dribbling. Not quite so good on the final delivery. Again, if we look across at his scouting report, we can already see, again, he's a championship standard player, only 1.5 star compared to the 2 stars of Goncalves, but he can improve a lot. You can get him for just slightly more, 15 to 21 million. Wage demand slightly higher, but again, really good, really promising future for this Brazilian winger. And if we go next to our Swedish striker, Jonah Kusa Assari, who is at AEK at the moment. He's 16 years of age, so he's very, very young, but he's already looking very promising. Jumping reach of 17, heading of 12 is going to improve. Strength of 13 is going to improve. He's 6'5" and he's only 16. Forget about the rest of his attributes. He's going to be a monster. Is he going to be the next Zlatan? Maybe. He's going to be a target forward, 1.5 star already in that role. Right-footed. He's already got a good reputation at 16 years of age. He's going to be breaking through into that AEK side already. He's already moved there from Bromma who've got a great youth system in the game. If we look at his scouting report, again, championship standard player, can improve a lot. But you can get this guy for less than £2 million. But he's not really interested in the move because he's only just joined AEK at the beginning of the 2023 season. But keep an eye on him. His value isn't going to increase that much because he's in the Swedish leagues. So when he does start having that little bit of interest, you can start snatching him up, and he's going to be a really good target forward to basically be the linchpin of your attack. 6'5", great looking young player as well. Right, next up is Fidel Ambre, who is a central midfielder playing for Lyon. He's 20 years of age, so he's slightly older than most of the players we've already looked at, but he's got a very well-rounded polygon looking at him. He's a defensive midfielder, can play in the centre of the park, already got caps at under 20 level for Mexico. If we have a look through some of his attributes that jump out, 16 technique, 14 passing, he's got good stamina, good acceleration, good balance, lots of good, not amazing attributes, but he's got this variable potential, so if you get a good role, he could be really, really good in the future. If we look at his scout report, 2 stars for his current ability, leading championship player. Could be a Premier League standard player in the future as well, 3 to 4 stars in this Manchester City squad. So he's not going to be world-beating, but if you get a good role with his potential, he's going to be very, very good. And he's available for, well, 5 to 7 million, and he's interested straight away. You're going to get his wages for less than 30k as well a week. So he's going to be a really good Metzala in the middle of the park. You can have a look at his scout report here. Good signing for the future. going to be a good player, this Mexican central midfielder. Next on the list is Belgian Adnan Sishu, who is currently at Lens. Hang on. There they are. I've got a Lens shirt behind me. He is a central attacking midfielder. Got very good, well-rounded attributes. 18 years of age. No youth caps for Belgium just yet. He's in the Lens second team, not the first team, just to be sure. But if we look through here, good first touch, good passing, good technique, good flair, good determinations there as well. He's got some really promising looking physicals, fairly determined personality. If we flick through to his scouting report, 1.5 star, good championship standard player at the moment, potentially Premier League standard in the future. You can get him for a reasonable price, less than 10 million, less than 7.5 million really. If you're lucky, maybe less than 1, but you probably won't be. His estimated wages are really low as well. You can get his wages for 12 grand a week, which isn't bad at all, especially if you are an elite squad. So again, this guy is looking promising for the future. He's going to be good on the ball, good dribbler, fair amount of pace, but we'll see how he develops in the future and if you get a good role with his potential. Next up is Antoine Mendy. So he's staying in France, but this guy is actually French. He is a right back, plays at Nice in their second team at the moment, their B team. Got natural fitness of 16, which is quite good. He's got some good stamina, not that pacey for a right back, a 10 pace, 13 acceleration. But on the ball, he's quite good. He's got good crossing of 13, dribbling of 14, first touch of 14, technique of 14. So he's going to be good at going down the flank as a complete wing-back. If we have a look at his scout report, £8 to £9 million he will cost you. Potential Premier League standard, currently a good championship player. Extremely interested in a move to Manchester City, unsurprisingly. Naturally fit, so he's going to be there all the time. Good strength and stamina. Can he make it at a higher level? Depends on his potential role on his potential ability. Lack of composure hinders any skill element to his game, according to the scout report, but he's got some good potential, and we're going to move on to our next player, Carel Campos, Mexican player at America, already got some youth caps, and he's already playing for their first team. He is a left winger, the first left winger we've got, but he's right-footed, so he can play as an inverted winger on that side and can also play on the right. Generally speaking, pretty decent across the board. Nothing jumping out on his attributes. His pace of 13, acceleration of 12. Not amazing for a 20-year-old winger, but pretty decent foundation for going forward. You can see from his potential from the scout report, if we flick over to that, it's not quite as high as some of the other players. 2.5 star to 3.5 star is his current range, so he might not develop. This might just be a slightly poor role for him on a potential ability. As obviously said, all of these players have got a variable potential ability range, so you depending on your save as to how good they will turn out. But if you want to take a punt on him, you can get him for less than £2 million. Wages are basically peanuts. He's interested at the start of the game as well. He's got poor heading, but he's a winger. Why is that brought up on his cons? I'm not sure. Decent pace though, decent ability to strike the ball, good balanced and normal personality. So let's see if he can develop into a good player. That's Carel Campos. And next up, staying on the left flank, we've got another Swedish player, Hakob Andreka, who's currently plying his trade at Antwerp in Belgium. So he's only just gone there, so he probably won't be interested in a move at the beginning of the game. But looking at him, he's not got the greatest potential role in this save. 2-star current ability, 2 to 3 star potential. But let's have a look at his attributes anyway. Decent pace, 14, acceleration 14. He's 20 years of age as well, so he's quite comparable to Campos, the last guy we looked at. Crossing 11, dribbling of 14 though, technique of 14. Some good 14s. His mental side of the game is all pretty much low teens in that yellow if you've got the standard colour range on. Pretty good all around basically. Nothing standing out as amazing, but nothing looking pretty poor. If we look at his scout report, you can see sign him as a last resort because he's not got that good a potential role in this save, but he might have a better one in a save of yours if you start looking for him right now. Good understanding of plenty of things. Ability to dribble makes him difficult for opponents when they come up against him. Fair amount of pace. Currently out with a long-term injury though, so if you are he's not interested in moving anyway, but if you are looking at buying him, check his injuries because he might be injury prone. Next up, it's back to Brazil and Sao Paulo for Talas Wanda, who is a striker, the second striker on our list, I believe. Again, he has not got the greatest potential in this save, but he's got a variable potential, so his range in a save of yours may be better. He's got a 1.5 star current ability, 2 to 3 potential ability. Obviously, this is based on the Manchester City squad at the beginning of a Your World save for clarity. Let's have a look at his attributes, though. First touch, 13. Dribbling and finishing, 12. Passing, 11. Technique, 10. Not fantastic. Anticipation, composure, decisions off the ball, work rate, everything for an advanced forward, all looking pretty decent. Generally speaking, his mental attributes and his physicals are looking pretty good as well. He's pretty bang average for a 19-year-old striker. Not amazing pace, not amazing acceleration, but pretty good at 12. He's not the best, but he's got the potential, or the potential of potential, to be better. If we look at his scout report, he can be available for about £5 to £6 million. Wages 30 to 40,000 a week, and he's a consistent performer, so that's in his favour as well. Doesn't have the greatest jumping. His aerial side of the game is not great. His potential on this save, I'm not giving him a glowing review, but trust me, his potential range is just as good as everyone else we've looked at, so he could be better in your save. First touch is there as well, and he's a good technical player. Right, next on the list, Nathaniel AJ from Ghana, currently in Sweden at Hammarby IF, and he's in their first team now as well, rather than the TFF second team. He's a central defender, and he's pretty decent. Heading of 14, marking 12, tackling 13. They're pretty key for a central defender. Mental side of the game, all really good. Physical side of the game, pretty good as well. Jumping reach of 13, strength of 16, balance of 16, 6'1". Pretty good size for a centre-back, and you can get him for less than £2.5 million, and his wages will be nothing because he's coming from Sweden, so he has no expectations of loads of money. The club probably aren't wanting to sell him, but he's wanting a transfer if you want to come in for him if you're Manchester City. Maybe if you are Manchester City, he might not. He's consistent, he's good in the air, he's got a good personality, pretty tall as well, good-looking centre-back. Nathaniel AJ, pretty good-looking centre-back with decent potential. This potential in this save isn't as good as it could be. Potential Premier League standard. In some other saves I've seen him with, definitely a Premier League standard and much better than he looks in this one. And that is the final player on our list. So they are 10 players who are hidden gems. Hopefully you've not seen any of them. If you have, let me know in the comments. And if you now look for these players in your save, let me know if you sign them and how good they develop in your future, in your save, because they've all got that potential ability to be really, really good, and some of them are looking very promising as well, particularly the first few we looked at. Obviously, we've gone down in order of which ones look most promising. So a couple of those Flamingo players, so Goncalves and Loran, are definitely worth taking a look at. Obviously, they play in the same position, so you probably don't want to sign both of them, but sign one of them, give them a shot, and have a go. And let me know in the comments how you get on with these hidden gems. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to the Sort It Out SI YouTube channel and my own channel over on Shadow Striker, and I will see you on the next video. Happy New Year, and thanks for watching.